I'm not fighting no more. Kelly, let me do my job. I just told you I didn't want to do no interviews, and you said you are going to do interviews. Now you told me to do interviews. Now you're trying to take me away from them. No. Let me show Dante's Boxing Nation some love.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So Gervonta Tank Davis brutally knocks out Leo Santa Cruz in the 6th round. Hands down, this is knockout of the year. And the main reason why it's knockout of the year is not just because it was a vicious knockout, but the level of opposition. He did this against another champion. To knock out someone as durable, as experienced as Leo Santa Cruz is highly impressive. So Tank, he deserves a lot of credit for this knockout win. It was a very impressive performance. You guys remember when Canelo Alvarez knocked out Amir Khan? You go back and you read the comments. Read the comments and see what they were saying about Canelo Alvarez's knockout win over Khan. They treated Canelo Alvarez like he had knocked out Floyd Mayweather Jr. And Khan had been knocked out multiple times previously, and he was known for having a glass chin. So let's see if we see the same energy from those fans that were congratulating Canelo Alvarez. We know what time it is, don't we? All right, let's talk a little bit more about this fight. You know, I was really impressed with Leo Santa Cruz. I'm watching the fight and I'm like, man, look at Leo Santa Cruz's speed. Look at his accuracy. Up until the point that Leo got knocked out, he was making this fight Tank's most difficult fight. You know, it's pretty crazy because whenever I see a fight like this where you have two champions and one guy is considered this heavy underdog where no one gives him a chance, I always suspect we're going to end up getting a surprising, very competitive fight, or we may even get an upset. And I felt the same way about this fight. I was leaning towards Tank, but I kept telling people this fight is going to be a lot tougher than people think, at least for the favorite Tank Davis. First round, Leo Santa Cruz comes out and he's throwing this quick, accurate jab. And it was a beautiful jab. And then he would always follow up. Then he would throw combinations. Everything he would do, it would be with combinations. And it seemed like at least in the first 2 rounds, no matter where Gervonta moved his head, Leo would find him with a punch. Leo was extremely accurate with his combinations. Every time Gervonta would get something off, Leo would be right back there to answer with about 2 or 3 shots, and most of the shots would land. I think Leo's speed and his boxing ability actually surprised Tank in the first couple of rounds. But like all of the special great fighters do, Gervonta was able to do something that Lomachenko couldn't do 2 weeks ago. And that's find another gear, be able to adjust to anything that's coming your way in a successful fashion. Just like Loma, he was surprised by Teofimo Lopez's skill. Gervonta was surprised with Leo's skill. Tank was getting hit more than he had ever got hit before. But Tank was willing to get hit, to get close enough to Leo to knock him out. That's something that Lomachenko was not willing to do. Lomachenko waited all the way to the 7th round to let combinations go, but he still wasn't willing to stand in front of the line of fire and sacrifice everything to get the win. That's the difference between a Lomachenko and a Tank Davis. So the first 2 rounds looked like Leo clearly won those rounds. It could even be argued he had won the 3rd round. Around the 3rd round, that's when Tank, he started to make his adjustments. He started to slip a lot of the punches that were landing previously from Leo Santa Cruz. He started to outbox him. So that's when he started to take over the fight. So he won round 4, he won round 5, and then in round 6, that's when Leo, he got some shots off and he landed some shots, and that made Tank want to exchange with him even more. They were going toe-to-toe. In the last couple of rounds, they were going toe-to-toe. So in the last 2 rounds, Tank Davis, he went into that high guard, which that meant that he was really, really looking for the knockout. He was landing a lot of his uppercuts, those left uppercuts that he likes to throw. But the closer he got to Leo, the more he started to get touched up a little bit because Leo was really, really letting his hands go. You could just see Tank was getting closer and closer to Leo. Next thing you know, he lands another one of those beautiful left uppercuts. And it was lights out, completely lights out for Leo Santa Cruz. He was laid out on the floor for over, 5-10 minutes? I'm telling you guys right now, Tank Davis is a very, very special fighter. To have that type of power with a high boxing IQ as well, to be able to adjust, because Tank could have easily been deterred in this fight. The things that Leo was doing in that fight, it would discourage the average fighter. There were times when Tank was hitting Leo with some really, really hard shots, clean flush. And you would think that that would slow down Leo, but Leo would actually come right back with beautiful combinations. And like I said, for a fighter that's not mentally strong, that could easily start to break him down psychologically. That didn't happen with Tank. He never got deterred. So this was a great performance by Tank. And remember, guys, Tank actually came down in weight. As Leo Santa Cruz moved up in weight, Tank came down in weight, so they kind of met in the middle. But as you guys can see in the fight, Leo Santa Cruz is a lot taller than Tank. And Leo was already talking about moving not only to 130, but he was talking about moving all the way up to 135. He was talking about that like over a year ago. But the reason why I bring up the fact that Tank, he moved down in weight, because if he had his Hope insurance, fans would be saying, oh, well, he was drained. Like some fans tried to say when Canelo Alvarez had to come down 2 pounds to fight Floyd Mayweather. They would be saying the same thing if it wasn't for Tank Davis being on a coincidental list. We know what time it is. So he came down in weight, looked just as dominant going back down to 130. Matter of fact, looked more impressive going back down to 130 than he did when he fought Gamboa at 135. So congratulations to Gervonta Tank Davis. The question is, who's next? And I'm telling you right now. Now, Ryan Garcia, he said that he wants to fight Gervonta after the Luke Campbell fight. Let's just say that doesn't happen. If Golden Boy, tries to stop Ryan from getting in the ring with Tank Davis, I'm telling you right now, Teofimo Lopez, there would be no reason for Teo. Now, Teo, just so you guys know, after Teo beat Lomachenko, he actually said in the post-fight press conference, he can still make 135. In fact, he said he wants to fight the Gervonta Tank Davises and Devin Haney. He said he didn't think that they would step up to the plate. So I'm saying right now, it would make all the sense in the world for Teo to either fight Devin or Tank Davis next, rather than moving up to 140 right now when there's too much unfinished business going on right now. This is the reason why Errol Spence, he always says he's going to move up to 154 once he finishes beating everybody at 147. He said he has to fight Terrence Crawford before he moves up. He has to fight all of the champions before he moves up. That's the same way Teo should be thinking. There is no fight at 140 that is bigger than Teofimo versus Tank Davis, or even Teo versus Devin Haney. There's no fight. Granted, Josh Taylor, he's a beast. And I believe he's pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. But no one really knows who he is outside of the UK. The fight would not be as big. It wouldn't even be close to as big as Lopez versus Tank or versus Haney. Now, I still think that, Teo should move up and go after Josh, because Josh is going to destroy Jose Ramirez. So I believe he should do that, but he should finish his business at 135 before he does that. But after this knockout win, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen. That was a vicious knockout. Let's see how it all plays out, guys. That's all I got for now, and I'm on to the next one. I always say on this channel, pay-per-view fights should actually be free. And now the day has come where I'm about to hook you up with an app where you can watch all your pay-per-view events, boxing, UFC, etc. for free. I want to introduce Block TV, the best internet streaming television app out there. They provide over 3,600 channels, including HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, and Stars. They have a massive video-on-demand library with over 40,000 of the new release movies and the latest TV series. And it also includes DVR, so you're getting all of this for $34.99 a month, and once again, that includes free pay-per-view. So this one right here is a no-brainer, guys, because back in Las Vegas, I was paying damn near $200 a month for my cable. Those days are long gone now. So to get the app, make sure you guys go over to getblocktv.com and put in my promo code and get 30% off your first month. You also get a free month for every friend you refer. The promo code is DBNation. Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. Basically, you will end up with a haircut shape up or an edge up. What they do is they tattoo small dots that look like hair follicles in the areas where you have lost your hair and then blend it with your existing hair. You can even choose what type of hairline you want, hard shape up or soft and natural finish. And to maintain it, all you gotta do is shave your hair every few days, which is something you already were probably doing anyway. So if you wanna get this hookup for my brothers out there in the UK and Europe, make sure you check out the Scalp This on Instagram. And for my brothers out there in the States, make sure you go ahead and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram. And when you go on their pages, you can see for yourself what these guys look like before. I mean, these guys are literally hair magicians. I've never seen anything like this before, but all I can tell you guys is this is a serious game changer for us men. So make sure you get in contact with Scalp This and Scalp Carolinas on Instagram.